So I've just come across a survey which looks at how home buyer requirements have changed ever since the coronavirus came into circulation. Now, this also made me reflect on how the tenant requirements have changed and what kind of rental properties they are now looking for. So if you're currently looking for a buy-to-let purchase yourself, hopefully you can pick up a few hints and tips from this video so you know exactly what type of property to purchase in order to fit the changing demand of the tenants. So without any further ado, let's have a look at the data. So the first and biggest change has been 30% of people are now saying that a garden is more important compared to before. And understandably so. You know, people have been locked up inside, especially their flats, without any outside space at all. So a lot more people are now emphasizing a garden as the make or break of buying a property. So if you're currently looking for a buy-to-let property, try and find a flat with a balcony at least. If you can afford to buy a house with a garden, of course, that'd be a lot more preferable and that would be in much higher demand compared to the flat. However, if you can't quite afford the house, then try and go for a ground floor masonette with a garden. That you'll tend to find will have a better return on investment for you as well, because the ground rent and service charges are typically a lot less than a block of apartments, for example. So try and go for something like that. I think that would work out a lot better for you and satisfy this increase in people looking for outside space. Second change has been 21% of people are now saying home working space is more important than before. So try and find something which has an extra room. So for an example, a house which has had its garage converted into a bedroom or a study room. I think those will be in a lot more demand compared to a normal 3-bedroom house with a garage, for example. Or if you're looking at flats or anything like that, try and find something a little bit bigger than you typically would look for. I think those will be a lot more appealing to people that are looking to rent or buy going forward. So take that into account as well. The third thing is 16% of people are now saying broadband speeds is more important than before. A lot more people are working from home, so it's quite understandable in that sense. So one tip for you would be to test what the internet speeds are like within that area, who provides the internet speed, and you know what it's like. And we've actually had a few tenants ask us recently as to who the internet provider is and what the speeds are like, and they've also conducted their own speed test before they sort of say yes or no to the property, especially if they're living at home. So if you're looking to purchase a buy-to-let property, test the internet speeds. I think that's going to be quite crucial going forward as well. Another thing you could consider as well is if those utility providers have any investment plans in terms of upgrading their existing lines to fiber optic or anything in the future as well. So, you know, that would be a lot more future proof for you as well. So I think that's quite an important factor. The next thing is, so 15% of people are now saying that a less urban environment is more important compared to living in a highly densely city, for example. And again, I think it's quite understandable in the sense, you know, coronavirus especially, you know, it's circulating and transmitting a lot more in the highly densely populated areas. So try and go for something which is just on the outskirts of the city, perhaps. So you're just close enough to like the main train station, the shopping center, the transport links and everything like that. But you're just that little bit out from there, where it's a lot more quiet and less densely populated. The last thing, I don't think there's much that you can do, to be fair, but so 8% of people now say living closer to friends and family is now more important than before. Which again is understandable. In times of need, you want to be able to turn to someone quite close by for help. So with this, perhaps, again, rather than buying in an actual city where typically sort of, you know, the smaller families or single people or couples are living because they're close to the town centre and the train station, things like that, try and go for more of a residential area where you'll typically find bigger families. So those tenants will hopefully be a bit closer to their friends and family and relatives there as well. So yeah, that's the end of the survey. Those are the main 4 things which have kind of changed over the last few months. So hopefully you can bear those in mind whenever you're looking for a buy-to-let property to purchase yourself. So you know exactly what kind of demand you need to satisfy from the tenants. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Do you reckon these trends will continue after the pandemic is over? Or do you reckon some of them will die down? I personally think the demand for the garden and internet speeds and more working space is likely to continue. I think people are appreciating the outdoors a lot more now compared to before. Internet speeds and more working space. I think a lot more people are now working from home compared to before, and I think this will probably continue. I know the government and some employers are sort of pushing people to go back into the office, but I think on the whole, employees realize that working from home is a lot more flexible for them. They can look after the children and get on with other tasks they perhaps couldn't. And employers are also realizing they can trust their employees to get on with the work from home. And obviously they're saving space in the office, so they'll have less space in the office to needed. So less rent, utility bills for them to pay as well. So I think those kind of trends will continue. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you think. It would be great to hear your thoughts, and if you sort of thought of anything else or picked up on any other trends, feel free to let me know. It'd be interesting to hear. So brilliant. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.